So now, next thing you do is going to go ahead and put in two center lines from center on one side to the other, center of the top to the bottom. Now, this drawing has a 5/8 diameter hole out in the middle. So when we come out there, if you just draw a circle with a diameter of 5/8, that does not look correct. So instead of a circle, you're going to use an ellipse. So you're going to go EL for ellipse. The three different options it shows, you're going to pick the isocircle option. You're going to start it out there, get it on the right plane by hitting F5, and then do a diameter of 5/8. Whoops, not 5/87, 5/8. And switch that to the correct layer. And that is beautiful. All right, our next one we're going to do. We're going to do it over here beside. It's exactly the same block. It's a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch block, but the way it lays in here is a little bit different. So this block, you're going to make it on the top plane. You're going to make it 2 by 2 on the top plane, like it's laying down. And then you're going to make it a 1/2 inch thick. So exact same size block, except for it's just on the top plane. Okay, so next on this drawing, let's look at the details of this one. Let me pan over. This one has two curved corners, and then in the opposite two corners has two holes. The curves are a 1/2 inch radius, the holes are a 1/2 inch diameter. And the center point of those are a 1/2 inch in from the corner. So the way this is going to look over here on this drawing is, again, we're going to start by putting in our layout line. I'm going to go L for line. I'm going to come over, let me get on my top plane here. I'm going to come over a 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to put a layout line across, kind of like so. I'm going to put a line there, 1/2 inch over, and across like so. Then I'm going to put a line in here, 1/2 inch, and across like that. And from there, over a 1/2, and across like that. Again, for me, I can do it quicker just by drawing the lines and not trying to track. And I don't make as many mistakes just by doing it that way. So get those layout lines in there, and we'll look at how these holes are going to go in. Okay, so now what I want you to do is, the holes go on each side on the left and the right. Whoa, that's a little bit of a large hole. Holes go here. Oh my goodness, come on. Mouse, work with me. Holes go here and here. The arcs go on the top and the bottom. Obviously, those circles are not what we're going to use, so we have to use our ellipse. We're going to go EL for ellipse. Isocircle again. The holes are a diameter of 0.5. And you've got to remember to hit that I for isocircle. Diameter of 0.5. And then the ellipse, or the arcs, are a radius of 0.5. So from there, I just trim up the arcs. Put all those on the object layer. And then I just, again, trace around like I did on the other one. So there, that has that top surface done. Again, this is one of those where I think it's a lot easier. We could put our center lines down here, put our full ellipse in there, trim it out, all that good stuff. But again, I think it's easier just to do this. Copy that line, that arc, and that line. Copy it straight down from that corner to that corner. Or copy it straight down just 0.5. That gets that put in perfectly into place. Put your line here and here. And that one is finished. Okay. The last thing you're going to do on this one is we're going to do one more drawing. Mine, I think I need to space these out a little bit better, so I'm going to move this one up a little bit, something like that. I'm going to move this one over. Sometimes when you want to move it over, it's a little bit easier to turn your polar off, or sorry, your ortho off, but sometimes you need it moved anyway. So there, I think about there. My other one I'm going to put here. Only thing that's going to differ with it is on this one, the 2x2 was in the front view. Here it's on the top view. On this one, my 2x2 is going to be on the right side view. So it's going to look like this as you lay out your block in here. 2x2 there in the right side view, and then you're 1/2 inch thick. Get that one drawn in, and we'll look at the details of that one here in just a second. last on this one, I'm just going to let you guys do this one on your own, and then I'll step you through it if you have struggles. This one is that one right there. So, has a large top half of it just rounded off with a 1-inch radius ellipse, and then with the 1-inch diameter hole going through it, and all the other same details. I would start it by doing some center lines in there. Then after your center line, you just can work forward with that. So, carry on. Alright, so this is what you should have there for that front plane of it. Now, to go on with the rest of this, I would do exactly the same steps I've been showing you, which is copy that back to the back plane. On this one, we're going to copy that straight line. We're going to copy the arc. Now, on this one, we're also going to copy this hole. And I'll show you why here in just a second. You'll see this, I hope. We're going to copy it from there, back to that back plane to there. The reason we copy the hole, this hole is large enough, you actually see the thickness of the object through that hole. And it would be trimmed out there and there, whoop, there, with that line erased out. So that shows the thickness of that hole. Down here on the bottom corner, obviously, we're going to put that line from there to there. Up here, some of you just did this to trim that off. But you might think that's okay, but this corner as it folds over, you're not going to see this arc from about here down. You're not going to see that. What you are going to have there is you're going to have a line that goes from this quadrant to that quadrant. And then trim that off like so. Erase up that little chunk. And there you go. Most often this will work from quadrant to quadrant when you're doing something like this. Sometimes if you have compound angles, it would be the tangent point, and sometimes that's a little bit of a mess to work out. So if you're ever struggling with that, just ask me and I'll help you step through that a little bit individually if your line's not going through where it looks good there. Alright, to finish this one up, get them centered up nicely in your drawing space. It may be easier to turn your ortho off to do that. So with my ortho off, I can slide this straight to the side a little bit. Maybe slide this one over a little bit. That one looks pretty good, center of the page there. So 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, something like that. Looks pretty good. Do edit your title block. The name of this is called Isometric Holes. Isometric Holes. Material. Do something that's logical. Pudding or Jello is not logical. So, cannot be pudding or Jello. But metal or plastic or steel or aluminium or, other things, titanium, I'm fine with that, whatever. Fill in your title block and do that. On this one, when you upload it, go ahead and do a tight screenshot of just your 3 views. Don't do your title block and border on this one, but just of your 3 views. Do a tight little screenshot. Ooh, right there, I got that really tight. Isn't that nice? So tight screenshot of your 3 views when you upload, and you can upload that to Student View. To save this, you're going to save it as Isometric Holes in your Quarter 2 practice folder. How many of you have a Quarter 2 practice folder? None yet. So, make a Quarter 2 folder, and then inside of that Quarter 2 folder, make practice, independent work, test quiz, all those good things, and save this in Quarter 2 practice. So, there you go. Get that saved. Then next, what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to this drawing, or this piece of this. On that page 82 of the hardback book, you have to do 3 drawings this time. Not 2, not 4, but 3. And you have 12 different choices to pick from. Some of those are more complex than others. If you're getting this and it's pretty easy, pick one that's challenging. And challenge yourself. Again, I totally suggest blocking it out as to a square block first, and then try to round off your corners by putting your center lines and all that. If you don't, the rounding off and the angling off thing becomes somewhat difficult.